Welcome to Nerd Dump.
I'm Dan.
I'm Matt. This is Nerd Dump. Dan, where are we?
We're...
Nerd Dump!
Nerd Dump!
Nerd Dump!
I got the wrong...
Nerd Dump!
I think that's the song.
That's, a song.
Yeah.
That was
Alright.
a song. Today, we are going to play a round of My Friend Should Play. Because that one seems to be doing pretty well. And we have fun doing it.
It's our fourth one.
Episode 4 is Galactic Civil War.
Galactic Civil War.
I've ruined it. I've ruined it. Alright, so I would like to present to Dan a game that many people out there have heard of, but not enough people have played. I'm going to do my best to abridge this, but bear with me. Alien Isolation. Game is only a few years old. Anybody can disagree with this all they want, but that game is survival horror, and it's possibly one of the most stressful games I've ever experienced in the best ways. Aside from just a few minor pacing issues and maybe like the flow of the game itself in certain places, it is just right there around what could genuinely be a classic.
I've heard it is a stressful friggin' game. And he's not just selling me on it. I already want to play it. I just don't have it.
It's a game, okay, if you like the Alien series, the franchise,
Okay.
It's a great game. It's a great title. It keeps the spirit of the 1970s film so focused and well. The plot is convincing. The story is good. The characters are excellent.
Does it feel very Ridley Scott?
It does. That's
Awesome.
the
That's all I care about.
If I'm not mistaken, they got back the original composer.
Okay.
I think Jerry Goldsmith, or I think it was. Apparently, the team, the team made so many efforts to make the world of that series into this game, and it shows the atmosphere, the sound design, and of course the AI in the game is what makes it stressful. Okay. You do not have much resources. You don't have. It's a lot of crafting. What you can get and have access to is extremely limited, and there's only certain enemies like humans and androids that you can directly fight. Okay. And even then, you're in a lot of scenarios where you don't know if the noise of things will draw in the xenomorph. And you can't really effectively fight the xenomorph. This thing is a threat. And it's just, the whole game is beautiful. I can't undersell it. If you have the patience to play it, and not, because you're gonna lose a lot.
Okay.
I mean, to those of you who can do like some kind of insane speed run where you never, go down in that game.
What's the hours?
You know what? I'd say on an average playtime, put it on a simple difficulty, and you've not played it. Yeah. It is easily a 15 to 18 hour game. An average playtime.
Not bad.
But it's a beefy game. You have to have to pace yourself no matter how good you think you are at the game.
All right.
There's really no way to rush it.
You know what, Matt? You sold me on it.
Alien.
Because I already wanted it.
Alien.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep selling it.
All right. Well,
Alien.
All right. So we got Alien Isolation right off that list here.
I know. It's amazing.
I'm going to go to my pitch for Matt now, which is
Grogu. That's not it.
The Wolfenstein series.
Okay.
All right. So I'm not talking really about the early 90s Wolfenstein or even the Xbox original Wolfenstein. I'm talking about the New Order, the Old Blood, and the New Colossus.
Okay.
Those games.
All
this Bethesda game, these games by Bethesda, are really friggin' good.
Really.
Now, they don't have multiplayer on any of them. This is a Bethesda kind of not, But,
yeah, that's alright.
They're very cinematic. You know how you usually gain weapons through a game and you have them all forever? Mm-hmm. That's not how Wolfenstein operates.
Alright.
So you get the weapons you have through that episode, basically, of the game. And then you kind of start over again every time. Not really, but kind of. But the game is fighting Nazis, chasing magical powers and stuff. The Nazis are going after artifacts that can do all kinds of things. You know what I mean?
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Raiders of the Lost Ark. But you're not Indiana Jones. Aww. You're Blazkowicz. And you're fighting the Nazis. But these newer ones, especially for the PS4, Xbox One, they're, and I guess Switch too, but you don't want to play those on Switch. They're take place after the Nazis won World War II.
Oh, okay.
And
like
they take place,
alternate.
They take place in the 60s. So you're now fighting in a world ruled by the Nazis ideology.
I've heard of this.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that was the same thing as Wolfenstein. That's awesome. That's wild.
Wolfenstein.
Okay, I don't know what that means.
I know. That's what I'm trying to tell you on. You never played them.
That's pretty cool.
They're fun games. Fun games.
All right. Anything with the alternate history ideas is like crazy.
Yes, very alternate history. So now it's on you.
Now on to me. All right, so this one I had to think about. So my next one is God of War, but for Dan here, obviously going back to the originals is a great way to start, to know the lore, story, and characters. But in this case for you, I'm leaning on God of War 2018, which is the same title, just God of War, but it's technically God of War 4.
That's a remake, right?
No.
Okay,
so it's what one would call a soft reboot / sequel.
A reboot?
Yes. Okay. No, kind of. Soft reboot. What happened was the original God of War series is all based within Greek mythology.
Which I do have, but I haven't played yet.
Greek mythology, Kratos is this demigod character whom basically he's been lied to and screwed over way too many times.
Okay. And
he winds up charged with having to take out Ares, the god of war, and everything chain reactions behind that through the series.
Much like the American citizens.
And
it's a conspiracy.
What happens is they solve all that. It's
right.
Whatever. 2018's game takes place sometime in another future. It's the same character. Kratos is an old man. He's had a son.
Okay.
And it's in the Norse mythology.
Oh,
Vikings,
okay.
Norse. But now, how this happens and shifts is not clear. I just recently finally got to dive into the 2018 game because Ragnarok just released as well, the sequel to it.
Oh, and that just came out.
It is It is phenomenal. And the reason I'm saying you should play the 2018 first, there's a lot of sprinkled what's the history here, which you can go to the old games for. They're amazing, and I can't undersell how cool those games are. But the new one plays out in a way that might be more identifiable to go in, and like, I want to learn more, so you can go back to those old ones.
Get this straight. God of War 1 through 3.
Yes.
Greek mythology.
Yep.
The recent two, Norse mythology.
Yep. Okay. And they're phenomenal. Like, these games are just beautiful. They're intense. Kratos is one of the most hardcore characters, I think, to ever exist in gaming. He's a person you'd want on your side.
Do you have the new one yet?
Yeah, I do. Not Ragnarok.
Did they release it for 4 or Xbox One?
Yeah, it's
How long are they going to do that for?
Not much longer.
Not much longer?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't think so.
It's, what's it today? November.
Today is
11th.
Yeah.
2000.
2 days ago. 2 days ago was the release of that one. But anyway, they're phenomenal. Again, they're sequels. I say soft reboot because they were kind of reinvigorating the series since the old games. But worth a look. Whatever you think you'd be more interested in, the Norse or the Greek stuff, they're all great stories to tell.
What kind of gameplay?
So, think like the old ones. They're different from each other.
I love the old ones.
As I'm saying, think like a very... I almost want to say like a Devil May Cry kind of
design. Okay. I got you.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, at least the first two might even have a tank control system to them.
Oh, really?
I got to think about that. I got to double check that. But yeah, they're a little older.
Are you lying to the people?
I'm not. The new ones are third person.
Okay.
So the handling...
Is it RE4 style?
Yeah. But the handling...
Another RE4 clone.
The handling does feel, admittedly, not as intense.
Right.
But it does do good service in favor of the game. The way the game wants to play, the way it wants to handle, it is very good.
Okay.
So yeah, not to be long-winded, but this is a phenomenal series. Amazing to play. Great story.
Does anyone else think that Matt's long-winded?
Yes. I talk way too much.
All right, so we knocked that off the docket for today. I'm going to sell Matt on a little game that is really fun. It's called Maneater.
Jaws Simulator.
No, it's not Jaws Simulator. So you start off as a little shark, a little baby shark.
As one does.
And what's the guy from Saturday Night Live who is also an archer? He's Cyril. Is it Chris Parnell?
Oh, Quint. He captains the boat that hunts the shark.
Chris Parnell.
All right.
Right?
Maybe.
Oh my God. So yeah, him. So he does this voiceover the whole time while you're playing this game, right? Like it's a documentary that you're playing. It's a very short game if you play it all the way through. I would say 10 hours.
All right.
So you do a lot of these things where you're a shark. So you eat little fish, barracuda and stuff. So you keep growing. Eventually, you can upgrade your teeth to be electric and stuff. It's a really cool game. And then they have these little Easter eggs down where like skeletons will be sitting in a vehicle or something near the beach. So what the goal of the game is you have these shark hunters. Now...
Quint.
Sure. Not Quint, but sure. So you go into the beach, right? There's certain areas, you go to the beach, you start eating people.
Just to be clear, it's not the beach that makes you old, like in the movie Old.
No, oh my God.
I just want to make sure.
That movie sucked!
I'm just asking
Another
questions.
video, maybe. You go to the beach, you start eating people while they're at the beach and like on rafts and stuff. And so these shark hunters, these popular shark hunters will show up that you have to defeat. And they'll try to shoot you or throw dynamite and stuff at you.
That's rude.
And you have to like jump out of the water and get them.
Oh, shoot.
It's a fun game. It's a leveling up game. You get bigger and bigger and you can upgrade.
It's one of those games you just really, the primary attraction is more like grinding instead of just the core story.
You don't have to grind too much though.
But that's what makes it fun, I mean.
It's pretty, this is what I love about it. The grinding is minimum. It's pretty laid out very smoothly to where you can kind of just progress as you go through each area.
All right.
If you do everything right, you take down these shark hunters. They'll be like an airboat or a regular boat, and they'll shoot at you and stuff, and you can just jump up and bite them. It's a fun game.
All right.
For how much they charge for it, which is nothing.
All right.
It's
I remember
great.
it came out a few years ago.
Yeah.
It was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, several years ago, a few years ago, yeah.
Nice.
Really good game. But the graphics are really good in it.
All right.
The atmosphere of the game, phenomenal. And then having Cyril, I forget his name, I think it's Chris Parnell, do the voiceover like it's a documentary is awesome.
That makes for a fun idea, I'll bet.
It's a great game. It's a fun game that people just were like, let's make an open world RPG about a shark.
Can you upgrade the shark to be a megalodon?
I don't know.
Oh, because
that's
so cool.
Like I said, you can upgrade and have like electric teeth and shit.
That seems strange.
Nature's
a confusing place.
Great game.
All right.
So I'm going to go ahead and knock that off of there. Matt, I think you should really play that one.
I have wanted to play it.
It is on the PS4, I believe. So
all right.
You could probably play it on PS5. Matt has a PS5. Woo! He has the PS5. All right, go ahead.
I can't afford it.
I can't afford it.
This one is a deep book title. So, PlayStation 2, there was a game called Darkwatch. This was introduced to me by a friend some time ago. And I was like, I'll sit down and play this. I don't know why this was so fun. If I remember correctly, the game doesn't look phenomenal, but it does its job well. It is a first-person, basically, I guess you could say a first-person shooter.
You're going to have to really explain it to me, because I've never heard of this one. It goes through levels.
But this game was cool because it's like it looks a little weird and it feels like I don't mean this that it is, but it felt like a game that might be like lower budget. But then it makes up for in like upgrading things, finding resources, and turns out it's like a decision karma based game. You could do different things that have different results, and they become fairly drastic as the game plays out.
So the replayability is great.
The replayability was actually really high in this game.
That's a good selling point for any game, that you can play more than once.
But the hook is, it's in like the Old West, and you're a train robber who, you get on the wrong train, and you get turned into a vampire, for lack of a better description, by this vampire.
All right.
And you are now on this quest. You join this organization called Darkwatch, and it's like this Old West like monster hunting crew essentially. And there's different people who are allies and enemies, and there's a lot of twists and turns with characters where you're like, that person was supposed to be my ally, turns out they're evil, and vice versa. Things are going. It's a pretty crazy game, and I remember playing this like, there's a lot happening. And I thought, like, this is awesome.
Darkwatch.
Darkwatch. I haven't been able to locate a copy. And when I've asked some places, like, they haven't even heard of it.
Did you say it's obscure?
I think
PS2 title?
I want to say it probably is because I've gone some places and asked.
It's probably very expensive to get a hold of a physical copy.
People were like, I've never heard of that one. And I was like, oh, it is real.
It kind of sounds like you're kind of explaining the second Vampire Hunter D movie to me.
I don't know. Maybe they borrowed it.
You ever seen that?
I don't think I've seen that one.
Okay, well.
But it is good. Think that Old West aesthetic, so you get,
yeah.
some of those types of weapons.
Steampunkish a little bit?
Maybe in places. It's been a while. I'll admit, I haven't played this.
Sounds very Vampire Hunter D.
I played it a long
Which
time
I'm
ago.
very into. So you're
Alright.
me on it.
That was fun. It was a really fun playthrough. Lots of voice acting and stuff going on, so you get a good engaging experience.
Good.
But again, PS2, so the visual fidelity is going to be a bit up and down in places. But again, pretty cool ideas. I thought it was a fun premise.
You know, we're going to have to look it up on eBay after this video because I want to see how much this...
You're going to do it.
You do it right now.
You're going to do it.
All right. Are you done with talking about Darkwatch? Because that's something I really actually am looking forward to.
I really want to replay it if I'm honest.
I like Vampire Hunter D, and it kind of sounded like you just gave me the synopsis for the second movie they did in like 99 or 2000, whatever it was.
Let's see. Darkwatch.
Darkwatch on eBay. Look
PS2.
PS2, yeah.
Well, hang on. They're not too bad.
What?
It looks like it's averaging around $30, $40.
Oh, it's not bad. Okay.
No.
That's not as much
well,
as
like I said, it's sort of an obscure game.
Yeah.
But the prices are all over the place, I guess, depending on what. But regardless, it's more affordable than expected.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm not making it up. It's real.
Good.
You
know what? Yeah. I didn't think you were making it up till now.
Yes, you're like, are you going to become this evil Dracula, or are you going to actually try to like save people and use your powers to do that? Like, it's pretty cool. You get powers. I don't remember how that works in full, but you could do stuff.
I'm gonna give you the DVDs to Vampire Hunter D, so that you can tell me that it is not what you just explained to me. All right. I'm getting that one. If it's that cheap, I'm gonna get it. Now, what I want to sell
Darkwatch.
my friend Matt here on is the reboot.
Okay, I was gonna ask about the year of this one.
Yes,
all right.
Reboot of Doom.
I've heard
Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. I have them. Friggin' love them.
I've heard that they are good.
Another Bethesda game, but they took some twists on some multiplayer version of this. Now, the first Doom 2016 is so goddamn good. I'm not thinking that anyone's going to argue with me about this on any comments or anything. They took that aspect of the old Dooms, right? Little spurts of an enemy here and there. Then you get into the arena area where they lock you in. You remember the old Doom games?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
And you have to fight enemy after enemy after enemy, and they drop stuff. You can chainsaw friggin', you have different moves where you can take your gun and grab them when they're weak and put your shotgun in them or something and just blow. It's just great. And then in Doom Eternal, I'm sorry, the controls are tight.
All right.
Tight. They did a great job with that. Doom Eternal took that and just knocked it up.
They took what worked and they improved on it.
Oh my god.
I like it when games do that. It's like Arkham Asylum and then Arkham City, and you haven't played them.
I haven't played those ones. But Doom, the first Doom 2016, the reboot, they had a multiplayer in it where it's kind of normal. Someone's been on here before, Shay. He and I played that game a lot, and my wife.
Do you know he's royalty?
Yeah, no, he's not. He's a...
It's a running joke.
He's a Irish bog trotting.
Shay, I'm sorry.
So you can do multiplayer on that one. Kind of normal multiplayer. With Doom Eternal, they did this thing where you can have 3 people, right? Now, 1 is the Doom Slayer. And 2 are actual monsters from the game, and you can summon monsters. And you have to go through as the Doom Slayer and kill them. Or as the monsters, you have to kill the Doom Slayer. It's a fun multiplayer. I wish you frickin' had it, because you would probably love that version of the game. But in Doom Eternal now, they do that arena-style battleground tenfold from their first.
All right.
And it's just this intense shoot 'em up first-person action like you've never freaking seen. There's no Call of Duty crap game or Medal of Honor, which doesn't exist, I don't think, anymore. Any first-person game does not compare to this Doom.
All right.
It is, and the music, holy crap. The guy that composed the music took a chainsaw and recorded the chainsaw going off and then leveled it to sound like guitars. So the music is going, it's just...
That's actually a pretty cool idea.
It is awesome. And so if you haven't played Doom 2016 or Doom Eternal, get that freaking game. You play it. Borrow it from me. I have them for the PS4.
From that era, I never really got to like play Doom, but I had. What is funny is when people talk about Doom,
era. It's our era.
No, I mean when people talk about Doom, the original.
Yeah. The old 1993s or whatever.
I think back to the PS1, but where I played.
Because
they use the same formula.
Quake.
Star Wars. What's the name of the game?
Was it an arcade game that you played?
No, it's a first-person shooter Star Wars game where you
Shadows of the Empire?
No.
Oh.
That wasn't first person. Well, I guess there was a first-person mode. But PS1, you play as this... it's not canon anymore. It's Kyle, whatever his name is. It's the original story where you were tasked with stealing the Death Star plans. Then it got changed. But that was the plot of the game.
Wow.
Dark Forces, I think? But anyway,
Ask them. I don't know.
It definitely uses the Doom design and formula.
Okay.
So that's what I think of. Instead of the demons, I'm seeing stormtroopers, or these white block things.
And they're all 2D. Yeah, and they're
out
there. Yeah, but you're going through a 3D maze.
Imperial officers.
Yeah.
They're just in these sort of like a base. Would make no sense if it was built like this. No one could get around. There's a lot of platforming.
All the employees would get lost?
Yeah, there's a lot of platforming. No one would navigate this place.
Alright,
Dark Forces, I think?
I don't know, man.
It was a good one.
There was a lot of Doom clones out there. I don't even think
it probably was.
I don't know, not probably.
It was that early first person.
Yeah, it'd be stupid of me to say a lot of. There was a lot.
Although Shadows of the Empire was fun.
Yeah, it was a fun game. But, yeah, I think those are our 3 games we're trying to pitch to each other and to you. Matt, do you have anything else that you would like to mention? Maybe Matt's a big fan of honorable mentions. So I'm just going to write honorable Matt right here.
Honorably mention things.
And let's see what Matt wants to honorably mention.
Well, for one, I will honorably mention days when we both can speak in a much more coherent manner. I just can't talk, and he can't talk. So I don't know what... that's your excuse. I don't know what mine is. I have too much energy. I'm a hyper person and I talk too fast. But honorable mentions. This is tough because you have played a lot of things, or at least you've tried to poke at stuff. And I'm thinking, if I'm quite honest,
a lot of games. Some of them I just plug in and play for like 5 minutes and I put them away, and I haven't played them.
What's the number one game that you remember you tried to beat so many times? But you've never beaten it.
Earthworm Jim.
Okay. Ooh. Mine was Jurassic Park SNES.
Ooh.
I didn't get very far. Because it's not fair and it's difficult.
Because it's not fair and it's difficult. Alright. Those are our 2 honorable mentions.
Earthworm Jim. Did I beat that? I don't know.
If you can't remember it, you didn't do it. Because you would have felt such pride. In being such a difficult freaking game.
I don't know.
You would have been like, oh, Busta Hyman. Alright, Matt.
I'm Matt.
I'm Dan. I'm Dan.
And I'm Matt. Welcome to Nerd Dump.
No, we're out of Nerd Dump now.
I know. No, I messed that up. I'm Matt.
And I'm Dan.
This was Nerd Dump.